In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, peace be upon you. Apologies, I speak slowly. To speed up this video, click on settings and select a suitable speed. Is Pakistan harbouring state-funded terrorists? US media's remarks against Modi's army have been that it's a vintage army. Now, I believe this is hint or pressure for the Indian military to start purchasing military equipment from the US in order to boost US economy. If I was Modi, I would F them off. And I suggest Modi do that if he has any sense. I'd like to say something about the Pulwama false flag. I watched a video that I have taken an image from and showed it, displayed it on the right hand side. The gentleman on the left in the image has been playing a leaked conversation between 3 Indian politicians, including Modi, in which they are plotting the false flag operation in Pulwama. Now, God knows whether it is genuine or not, or I know nowadays they can morph images, perhaps they can get sounds to sound like another person, get voices to sound like another person, and to say what they want the person to say. But it certainly appears as if Pulwama was a false flag operation. Looking at the article on the left, it says, how far might India go to punish Pakistan? Now, and it talks about state-sponsored terrorists in Pakistan. Now, the true sponsors of terrorism are US, UK, Israel, etc. The leadership of these countries perform blood sacrifices on a regular basis. They are actually laying low at the moment, trying to show that they're peacemakers and innocent of atrocities, and they're putting Modi forward to do the dirty work that they want to have done. I certainly believe that they are the criminals behind Modi's mask, and he needs to stop being a Kala Angrezi, a black British, because during the Empire the white British were called Angrezi. What the Indians fail to realise, and Pakistanis from Pakistan, they fail to realise, is that they are hated by the Gog and Magog, anti-Christian, satanic, Western Khanzir, absolutely loathed by them, but they don't seem to realise it. They think that US, UK have their best interests in mind. They haven't. The state sponsoring terrorist countries, as I said before, are US, UK, Israel, etc. Certainly France and Holland should be included in the list. They tried to destroy Pakistan by forcing Pakistan into taking refugees who were actually terrorists. But Alhamdulillah, Pakistan has been fighting this terrorism for 18 years, and by God's will, God has been training them. Alhamdulillah, the way He trained Prophet Dawood, who opposed Goliath when he took his sheep or goats out. Apparently wolves and lions used to attack, and he used to fight them off with stones and slingshots. So Allah has been giving the Pakistani army training, and they are overcoming the terrorism of the West and of India. Many of Pakistan's people were martyred as a result of the terrorists that the Western Gog and Magog anti-Christian satanic Khanzir introduced into Pakistan. Now, I was very angry when I created this video, and the slides and the words represent this. I'm not as enraged now, I'm a bit calmer, but I am going to read what I wrote when I was feeling quite emotional. And what I said was that the Haramzadeh Khanzir, they kill my people and then tell me I, as a Pakistani, have done it, that I am harbouring these terrorists that are killing my people. What sort of Khanzir are they that they would say such a thing? My people are so poor the way I was poor when I was young and an orphan. I was too busy trying to put food in my mouth, and my people, the Pakistanis, they're only trying to put holy rizq, holy food in their mouths. That's all they're trying to do, live their day-to-day lives, rather than pay for bombs, etc., to explode 100 of their friends or neighbours. But this is what they're being accused of. It's an absolutely ridiculous thing. It is only the Western gutter elite which are so rich they have become thirsty for human blood and body parts, and India has sold them the bloody organs of Kashmiris and Pakistanis because they are taking lessons from Israel. In fact, I saw another report recently about how Hindus are dressing up as Sikhs to make it appear as if the Sikhs are hating on the Muslims and Pakistanis, when that is simply not true. And there has been some friction in the UK as well between Sikhs and Muslims, and I am wondering whether this is also the result of Hindus dressing up as Sikhs, trying to cause friction between the two communities. It isn't a secret that Western, American, British and Israeli soldiers dress up as Muslims, carry out attacks and say the Muslims have done it. So now we're getting Hindus dressing up as Sikhs. Now I'm wondering, perhaps Israel wants to investigate a biological weapon to use against brown people. and this is why there's a market for the organs of Muslims. And I would discourage any brown people from giving blood or body parts to the Western medical profession, no matter who they say it's for, whether some child is dying and needs a kidney transplant or anything. I simply wouldn't do it, because I believe they are investigating how to kill brown people through biological warfare, and it's better not to help them in this sort of research. They are actually very bloodthirsty, and I have asked some of my colleagues at work why they are so bloodthirsty, and I only asked this when they expressed their desire for the blood of the Middle Eastern politician, President Assad. I said, you've killed millions in Iraq, you killed Saddam Hussein, and there were no weapons of mass destruction found. Then you killed Gaddafi along with his people. You've killed people in Afghanistan and Pakistan. When will your bloodthirst end? And they denied it. They denied their own bloodthirst. They can't see it. They can't recognize it. They are so deluded, some of them. Now, the countries with majority Gog and Magog anti-Christian satanic Khanzir support terrorism and immensely hate believers. This includes many Western countries: US, UK, Israel, France, Holland, perhaps some others including Australia. They hate believers because they hate, when you're filth and evil and satanic, you really despise anybody good and pure and holy, and especially when you can see the innocence written all over their face. There's been times when, I'm older, I've done bad deeds in my life, and sometimes I see a young girl and she looks so innocent and sweet, and I feel a jealousy and dislike of her, and I have to address myself and think, why am I feeling this? Because she's innocent and pure and good. Is that why I'm feeling it? And I try to control it and ask Allah for forgiveness, and this is what they should do, but they don't. They try to cause death and destruction throughout the world instead. And on the left-hand side, right-hand side, I've included a news report about how after the Pakistanis returned the Indian soldier, they returned the body of someone that they had arrested. I'm not clear whether it was a soldier or not, but they returned the dead body to Pakistan of Shakirullah, and his body was missing his heart, lungs, stomach and brain, and I've no doubt this is probably it's going to be sold to the West for either research or for the royal family or politicians to eat. As always, I pray that Allah guides us all, protects you and me, gives us peace. I pray that Allah guides the Gog and Magog anti-Christians, Satanists and the devil to the straight path. I pray the children be a source of peace for the parents, and the parents a source of peace for the children, and may I be a source of peace for all. May I also be martyred defending the vulnerable. Allahu Akbar and Allah Hafiz.